Hi, I'm State Representative Terry Anelowitz, and this week, Governor Kemp presented the General Assembly with his policy priorities for the 2022 session. To say the least, I am deeply disappointed. Governor Kemp's remarks included no mention of expanding Medicaid across the state, nor did he mention improving access to mental health care, something that has strong bipartisan support in the House. While the governor's agenda includes several worthy goals, like ensuring public school teachers receive that other chunk of their promised $5,000 pay raises for other state employees, continuing to combat human trafficking. Most of the governor's priorities are really just campaign platitudes pandering to a Trumpian, anti-democratic primary voter base. Let's start with Governor Kemp's desire to ban critical race theory. This is a preposterous attack on education. The truth is that CRT is not taught in any K-12 school in Georgia. Here's what Georgia Republicans don't seem to understand. Just because you have critiques of how your country can do better doesn't mean you don't love this country and love the great state of Georgia. I love Georgia. I am so proud to be a Georgian. And at the same time, I can acknowledge and recognize the ways in which Georgia has a dark history when it comes to oppressing Black and brown communities and LGBT folks. I can recognize the way Georgia still actively oppresses minority communities. That doesn't make me hate Georgia. That motivates me to work harder to ensure an equitable society for all Georgians. Knowing the truth, learning the truth, it makes us better. It makes us better people. It allows us to rebuild trust with our neighbors and within our communities. And it makes us better legislators. How can one govern for all people if we don't address the fundamental facts of our history that paved the road to where we are today? I adamantly believe that our children have the right to grow up in a society built on a foundation of honesty and truth. Obfuscating our past will never get us to a future where we can all thrive. So with that, let's discuss banning obscene materials. Yesterday, GOP House members introduced an 80-plus page bill that would penalize school districts for violating a vague and onerous list of standards. It's impossible to say you support our educators while perpetuating legislation that undermines their ability to best serve their students, who they know best. And by the way, if your kid has a phone, all the access to obscene materials they could ever possibly want is right there in their pockets. Parents, talk to your kids about porn. Moving on to fairness in sports. I am pretty sure the governor wasn't talking about referees who make bad calls. What he said was code that equates to bullying trans kids who just want to play soccer or run track. It's mean and it's unnecessary. Trans kids are children, and protecting trans and LGBTQ youth is vital to their mental and physical well-being. Everyone deserves to feel safe and valued, especially in our schools. And the last thing I'll respond to is Governor Kemp's proposal to allow what is being framed as constitutional carry. What this essentially means is that we'll have guns everywhere whenever someone feels like having one. No background checks, no way for law enforcement to discern the difference between these so-called good guys with guns and the bad guys with guns. But let me also tell you what I'm looking forward to working with Governor Kemp on. Mental health. I mentioned earlier that we should soon see omnibus mental health legislation, and I look forward to sharing details of this bill with you in the coming weeks. Also, human trafficking. It is no secret that I fully support punishing those who perpetuate this horrific exploitation. And human trafficking isn't just about sex. We know that labor trafficking is a scourge in Georgia. I hope we will continue to address those issues and protect the dignity of all people in Georgia. Thank you for watching. Be sure to follow me on social media for updates as the 2022 session continues. Next week is budget week. I serve on the House Appropriations Committee, and I will share the most important updates about that process when I visit you again next week. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, wear a mask, get boosted.